Setting goals is bullshit. Yes, I said it. When you set a goal, you are limiting yourself. And I'll explain this to you. You have created an illusion. This is the illusion that you have created. You believe that in order to get from point A to point B, you have to do this. Then you have to do this. Then you have to do this. And then you'll get to point B. And when you choose this illusion, you create a story in your head. And what ends up happening is that it ends up taking longer to get to point B. And you end up running into more obstacles because you have created so much resistance and you have now limited yourself. You have adapted what I like to call scarcity mindset. There is a huge difference between having a scarcity mindset and having an abundance mindset. I want to help you get from point A to point B. But instead of having to do this, do this, do this, I want to help you get from point A to point B and actually enjoy the process by just setting intentions and actually detaching yourself from any outcomes. Because when you detach yourself from the outcomes or the desired outcomes, that is what opens the quantum field into infinite possibilities to then be attracted to you. And you have now achieved your goal and many other goals that you were not expecting to achieve. How interesting, right? You see, when you do this, do that, when you do, you try. And the more you try, the more resistance you create, the longer it takes, and the more difficult it takes. Instead of trying, what if I told you that you can just be? Because when you are being, you are recognizing. Recognizing is power. Awareness is power. Knowing is power. Abundance is not having, it's recognizing what it is that you already have, that already makes you abundance. And yes, I'm telling you guys this with so much love. Because I created an illusion, many illusions, and I was very unhappy. Yes, I ended up attracting my goal. I ended up achieving my goal. But I was always left unfulfilled. Because manifestation is only when you achieve something or you achieve a desired outcome, it's very just, it's temporary. It's a momentum. The process is the beauty. And when I recognize that it's not about getting from point A to point B, but instead of enjoying the adventure of getting from point A to point B, that really is what's going to make my life more fulfilling. Finding the joy in the process and detaching myself from any specific desire or outcome. By doing this, I now allow way more things to happen. And this always works. I cannot tell you how many times I set an intention and I detached from the intention. Just detached myself from it. And I ended up getting way more than what I had even set the intention. That's why I believe that when you set goals, you limit yourself. Set an intention. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. Intentions come from the heart. Goals come from the ego. The ego is continuously convincing itself of what it needs in order to be happy and to be fulfilled. The soul never lies. And this is why I believe that if you can just recognize that you already have abundance, And sometimes it's just looking at yourself, touching your heart and just feeling your heart and saying, fuck, I'm healthy. I'm so healthy. And I'll share something with you guys. A couple of days ago, I was with my grandma and we were in the car. And I had mentioned to her that I would be interested in doing some sort of cosmetic procedure in my face. And my grandma said to me, you know, vanity is not good. And my ego gets triggered by this. And I tell my grandma, well, if vanity is not good, then I keep myself healthy and I always attempt to look good, to feel good. So you're going to tell me that vanity is not good because I'm choosing to find ways to love myself? And she said, no, there's a difference. And after that conversation with my grandma, I kid you not, 5 hours later, I find myself talking to a family member who experienced a traumatic event. This family member was actually fixing a boat when it exploded on him and burned his face. And I asked him about this experience and he opened up to me. Thankfully, you know, with the technology and how advanced we are in the medical, you know, in the medical field right now, he was able, his burns or nothing was not bad. His skin actually, I don't know exactly what procedure he had, but thankfully nothing really, like you can't really tell what that he had gone through that. But still, he was like wrapped up in a mummy, like a mummy for weeks. And when he shared with me his story, I had like this epiphany because I was like, fuck, I was just having a conversation with my grandma about how I wanted to get a specific cosmetic procedure in me, in my face. And here I am trying so hard to, you know, look better, to feel better. And then I find myself having this conversation with my cousin. And he tells me that that event really, really shaped him. So I asked him, tell me about the morning of this event, when before the explosion happened. Tell me about your morning. And he said, funny you asked that question, because that morning I looked at myself in the mirror. I had put on my gel and I was looking at myself in the mirror and I felt the best I've ever felt. I even looked at myself like, damn, you look good. And then I went to work just like any other day, not realizing that that event was going to shape my entire life and impact me in such a profound way. I never thought that that would happen to me. And when he shares this with me, I literally, guys, I kid you not, I just say, thank you, God, for allowing me to have this conversation with with my cousin after the conversation I had with my grandmother. I now recognize that I am grateful. I now recognize that I am perfect just the way I am, and that you have given me a healthy body. And I should appreciate that more. So, you see what I mean about how when you try to do something to feel yourself better or do something to make yourself feel better, it's just a mask covering up how you really feel about yourself. Here I am going and having this conversation with my grandma, and then I have a conversation with a family member who experiences a traumatic event. My mind will never be the same. And it shifted me back into gratitude. It shifted me back into abundance mindset instead of scarcity mindset, which is, I need to do this to look this way. I need to try to do this cosmetic surgery to do this, to feel better about myself. Why? So I want you guys to think about where you see yourself in the next couple of months. And I want you to set an intention from the heart as to where you see yourself in the next couple of months. And allow the universe to come in, to open infinite possibilities for you without you having to try to control any desired outcome. Let this be your new mindset. Let go of scarcity mindset and start embodying abundance right now in this present moment. Enjoy the process of getting from point A to point B without having to control. And instead, set intentions. And I promise you that your life is going to be more fulfilling because you realize that it's never been about achieving that goal. It's always been about every single minute, second, day to get to that goal. That really is what's most rewarding about life. Stop trying, stop doing, and start being, start recognizing what it is that you have in your life right now that you have chosen to not pay attention to. And start paying attention to it and start focusing and becoming thankful for it. I hope you guys shift from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset. I love you guys.